shares of United Airlines right now trading higher. They're up almost 3%. And we were talking with Helene Becker from Cowen about the airlines, but who better to tell us what's happening on the ground, especially when you've got big news to announce, than someone who is in charge of scheduling at United. It's the Vice President of Network Planning and Schedule. Ankit Gupta joins us now because United has announced it is adding 150 flights to warm weather cities. And Ankit, I want to break down a little bit where you're going here, because it's not just 150 flights to places that are hot, but places that are really hot among travel destinations. Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Nevada, but also Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central America. Why did you guys take this step today?
Absolutely. I think the reason we are launching these additional flights is that we've seen a real travel resurgence, especially in the leisure sector of the domestic market. And we've seen a significant uptick in our passenger demand and our customer demand. And with the vaccines taking effect and customer confidence increasing in the travel plans, we're seeing our customers starting to book up these flights right now for the winter season. And that's why we are adding to all these warm weather destinations. Typically, in the winter season, you see us add flights anyway. And versus pre-pandemic, we are 20% higher than what you're seeing, what we loaded today. So not only is the demand back, but we're adding 120% of what we had in pre-pandemic levels this winter.
In fact, from the press release that was put out this morning, 137 more flights than in 2019 to those states that I talked about earlier, Florida, California, Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada. That starts November through March. So what United is telling us is that this leisure recovery, and Helene Becker from Cowen was telling us that the airlines are experiencing demand that's greater than it was at the pre-pandemic levels, sounds sustainable. That's what you folks are telling us, right?
That is absolutely correct. Even during the month of July, what you see is that overall our schedule is back to 80%. So we're flying 80% of pre-pandemic levels, but majority of that has been geared towards or shifted towards the leisure sector. And we are flying about 120 to 140% in any given city, whether you take it as Phoenix, whether you take it as Florida, Fort Myers, Orlando, Tampa, Palm Beach, you name it. Lots and lots of our customers are desiring to go to these cities. Also, what we're noticing is that with increased remote work trends, our customers are planning to stay in these cities longer, spend some vacation time, and also be able to work from home in these places. So we've seen a significant uptick, not just in passengers who are going for 3 or 4 day vacations, but passengers who are staying there for 2 weeks and basically working from these remote locations. And we expect this travel surge to continue through the winter, mostly because some of the international borders also remain closed. And what we're seeing is that demand has just shifted towards the domestic leisure sector. So you saw some of our uptick in all these different states, but Hawaii is another place where we're seeing lots and lots of customer demand. And it's just the shift of some of the international demographics on the leisure side shifting towards the US domestic leisure side. With the successful vaccination drive that we've had in the U.S.
You're also, though, you're adding flights to Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central America. The Central America flights, and I haven't looked for the specific locations. I don't know if you can share them with us, but I'm curious because that's the kind of thing that made my eyes perk up. It's why we requested the interview. Can you tell us, is this new routes for United, or is this expansion of what's already existed?
So you will see that we have continued quite a few of the routes that we started in 2020, which was right during the middle of the pandemic. We saw there was not just leisure demand to Central American destinations, but also VFR, what we describe as visiting friends and relatives. And that demand had shot up significantly. And even with the travel mandates that came on in Feb and March, where the CDC required or the government required us to have a negative test upon arrival, whether it's the US or Mexico or Central American destinations, that demand has continued. And that's right in line with that. What we saw was our customers desired travel to all these Central American destinations. You can call it Costa Rica, Belize, some of the new services that we've launched to all these places, Liberia, from San Francisco, which we've never done before. From Los Angeles, we've added 8 new destinations to Central America and Mexico and Caribbean, which is also ahead of our competition. So we're really proud to be able to serve our customers in this region. And it's really because of all the increased customer demand in this region.
Sure. Listen, like I said, you got me when you said you're increasing service to Latin American beach and leisure markets by 30%. But let me wrap up with this question to you. Mr. Kirby 2 weeks ago announced United Next. Very impressive growth for the airline, the largest order of aircraft in United's history, the 270 new aircraft, plus hiring all those new pilots. Are you guys going to be up to speed and ready for all of this demand come November? Because I know that United Next is a couple of years process. It won't happen overnight.
Absolutely. United has taken the lead during the pandemic in being able to manage to the demand levels that we saw. Unfortunately, in last year, we saw April, May, June was the lowest demand period in the history of airlines. And we managed, I would say, better than any of our competitors. And we started planning for the resurgence or the recovery, which we're seeing right now, about 12 months ago. And you can say that we are already way ahead of the game in terms of being able to return our planes back into the service for our customers not to face any disruption. And with these 270 incremental aircraft that we just announced 2 weeks ago, which we're really, really excited about, because they provide us an opportunity to improve our customer experience in our hubs and bring our hubs to their potential, is that we are prepared to be able to take those deliveries. Those deliveries start in the second half of 2022. So we do have significant time ahead of us to be able to plan for those incremental flights. But we are very, very confident. We have a very, very credible on-track team who's planning for this bounce back or bounce forward, as we're calling it. So we're very confident in our ability to be able to manage it.
And while a lot of us are sweating it out during the summer months, it's never too early to get the tickets for your winter getaway to warm up. They're on sale now, 150 new flights on United to warm weather city destinations. We appreciate your being here. Ankit Gupta is United's Vice President of Network Planning and Scheduling. Safe travels, and thank you so much for being here.